Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, as you're tuning in, I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're at in the world. We're going to talk about heavyweight boxing here for a second. Right now, as I'm talking to you guys, I got my John Riel Casimiro workout video because I saw John Riel Casimiro, who's getting ready for his big fight with Naoya Inoue next month on ESPN, April 25th. So be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for that video when it drops. But I wanted to switch gears a little bit from Wilder Fury, Wilder Fury, Glove Gate, all the, energy and time we waste talking about that. And I wanted to talk about the fight that I know a lot of people do want to see in the heavyweight division. And it's not Wilder Fury 3, okay? It's Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. That's the fight and the matchup everybody wants to see. And I'll be honest with you guys, if you really watch my channel, if you watched me for the last couple of years, I know there's a couple of videos, a couple of times I've said that, the Anthony Joshua Wilder negotiations are a big waste of time because the real fight in the division isn't that fight. It's Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. I was saying that before Fury beat Wilder or fought Wilder. I was saying that a while ago. And now that's really the fight that should happen. It should happen. I know it's not going to happen because Wilder has exercised his rematch clause or his right to a third fight. And if he wants his right to a third fight, then fair play to him. He should get his right to a third fight because it was in the contract. So he's going to exercise that. And if he really believes he can beat Tyson Fury in the third fight, then all power to him. I hope he puts his best foot forward to do so. And he gets good people around him that he'll listen to in training camp that'll put him in the best position to win. So us, the fans, get a great fight in the third fight. But the fight in the heavyweight division is not Wilder Fury 3. It is Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, the all-British, undisputed heavyweight championship fight of the world. That's a big fight. It's a fight that, I'm going to quote Eddie Hearn here, the Brits may never have this chance again. And I think it's up to, British boxing, Eddie Hearn, Tyson Fury's team, all parties involved, to get this fight done for, the great fans over there. Let's call a spade, man. I'm an American. I'm a proud American. I love the Stars and Stripes, but let's call a spade a spade. The British boxing fans, the UK fans, I can speak from a place of experience now because I've been to the UK. The British boxing fans are some of the best fans on earth. They support all their fighters. They get behind their fighters. They travel abroad to America. They travel wherever they need to travel to support their own. And I think it's time that, in this very special time in their country's history in the sport of boxing, that they get rewarded with the fight and an event of this magnitude, because this isn't just a big fight. No. This is not just a big fight. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for their country to have this. When we talk about Anthony Joshua, and I can all speak from experience with this as an American because I was actually in the UK when he fought Andy Ruiz in the rematch, and I went to a bar. I got to take in the atmosphere for myself. When Anthony Joshua fights anybody, I don't care if it's Ruiz, Carlos Takam, whoever, when he fights anybody, the UK, all of England, the whole of England, it stops to watch him fight. All right, it stops to watch him fight. He is a national treasure, and I'm not saying that lightly. He is a national freaking treasure over there. People love Anthony Joshua, and when I was over there in December, I can definitely say that Anthony Joshua was about 5 to 6 more times more popular than Tyson Fury was in England. Now that Fury's Wilder, I'm sure that gap has closed a bit. But I know Anthony Joshua still is probably a bit more popular than Tyson Fury because there's been more marketing dollars put behind him. But nonetheless, I digress. It's a massive event for the country. John Fury recently came out in an interview with IFL TV and stated that, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing and whoever puts on the fight, that they would need to, pay both fighters $250 million. And you know what? I actually agree. I'm gonna say it myself. I actually agree. I think this event is that big that it probably would command that amount of money because Anthony Joshua commands that amount of money when he fights in Saudi Arabia on his own. He's got $88 million allegedly for fighting Andy Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. So if you mean to tell me two of the greatest heavyweight fighters in British boxing history besides Lennox Lewis, they're fighting each other for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, this may never happen again in boxing. And I think the Brits have an interesting opportunity to get something done. Now, business aside, if we talk about the fight from a technical standpoint, because that's what I wanted to talk about as well, Who would your boy BT favor in a fight like that? But well, before I get into that, let's just talk about how the styles of these guys and how they match up. When we talk about Anthony Joshua, we're talking about a guy that's 6'7", boxer, puncher, solid fighter, good fighter. He's proven in his career many times to be a fantastic finisher. When he gets you hurt, he normally gets you out of there, which is why I think the first Andy Ruiz fight, that win for Andy Ruiz was so special, because when Joshua gets you hurt, I mean, he folds you up and he gets you out of there. And he lost to Ruiz, and he made some changes in camp, and he whether people like it or not, he had a masterclass himself against Andy Ruiz. Yes, Andy Ruiz made his life easier because Andy Ruiz came into the ring looking like Jabba the Hutt. But nonetheless, Anthony Joshua before the fight, and this is the underrated part about Anthony Joshua before that fight, he made the necessary changes needed to actually win that fight. He went ahead, he got him some help. He kept Rob McCracken as his head trainer, but he started working with his coach, with Coach Angel Fernandez, who also works with guys like Isaac Chamberlain and O'Hara Davies. And we saw Anthony Joshua throwing different types of jabs, and we just saw a more polished, more patient, more poised Anthony Joshua in the ring. Now, it was a masterclass, but we have to still call it into question, because we still don't know if on that night, if it was more Anthony Joshua adjustments in camp and his style, or if it was just Ruiz being fat that he couldn't put the pressure on Anthony Joshua. So I give him full credit for the win, but it's hard to necessarily know how much he's improved because of the condition of Ruiz. That's just calling it objectively. But with that being said, how does he match up against a guy like Tyson Fury? Well, when he fights Tyson Fury will be a 6'9" fighter. He will have to jab up. He'll have to jab up, and this is a problem a lot of heavyweights experience when they fight Tyson Fury. And it doesn't matter if you're Deontay Wilder or Vladimir Klitschko. Almost every heavyweight experiences this problem with Tyson Fury, because he's the tallest, at the top level. He's the tallest heavyweight in the division, and most of these guys are used to jabbing straight or jabbing downwards at a shorter fighter, but not many of them are used to jabbing upwards. And most of these heavyweights, they only have one type of jab. Most heavyweights these days don't have the skills of the heavyweights of yesteryear. Like, for example, right, on my wall, right, like, for example, on my other wall where I kind of sit at my videos, okay, that's Joe Frazier right there, okay. A lot of these heavyweights don't have the skill of a guy like Joe Frazier. Let's go over here, okay. Let's go over here, all right. A lot of the heavyweights don't have the skills of this guy right here, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. Okay, they don't have the nuanced skills to where they're throwing 3, 4, 5 different types of jabs. Most fighters and most heavyweights these days only throw a regular straight jab. They don't have a flicking jab. They don't have an up jab. There are different types of jabs. So because they don't practice these things and they don't have these things in their toolbox, when they fight Tyson Fury, it greatly hinders them. And Anthony Joshua, I still think he falls into that category. I mean, I saw him attempt to throw some different types of jabs in the Ruiz fight, but he hasn't really fully established that into his arsenal yet, to where I could be comfortable saying, well, yeah, he'll be able to do that against Tyson Fury. So when they do fight, this is why I think he'll struggle. He might land some decent jabs to Tyson Fury. He might get his attention early because of the strength and the size, and if he comes in like around the same way he did in the Ruiz fight, the speed might even be good for him too. But the fact that Anthony Joshua, he's kind of straight up, he stands a bit straight up. He doesn't really have multiple jabs in his arsenal. This, to me, will be his ultimate undoing against Tyson Fury. Now, from the Fury side of things, I don't think Tyson Fury is going to try, if they do fight, I don't think he's going to try to fight like a Kronk gym fighter in the early parts of the fight. I don't think you're going to see him go out there from the first bell and walk Anthony Joshua down, because Anthony Joshua isn't Deontay Wilder. He can fight off his back foot. He's a lot more polished than Wilder, and he knows how to place his shots a lot better than Wilder, without loading up on the punches. You see what I'm saying? So because of that, I see Tyson Fury early on in the fight, boxing from the outside, using his range, kind of fighting the style we're more accustomed to seeing him fight. And then in those middle rounds, I think you will see Tyson Fury switch to southpaw, and maybe even in the early rounds, if he sees something he likes, he will switch to southpaw. When he fights out of the southpaw stance, he's a lot more aggressive than even when he's in the orthodox stance. So I could definitely see him going southpaw and attempting to walk down Anthony Joshua for a round in the middle rounds. And if he has enough success to feel confident about it, he'll continue putting that pressure on him and test the stamina of Anthony Joshua. And then it's up to Anthony Joshua to make the adjustment back to Tyson Fury. So that's how I think the fight's gonna play out. A lot of people are saying that if Tyson Fury fights Anthony Joshua, he would fold him up and stop him. I don't think he would fold him up and stop him. I don't. I think because of Anthony Joshua's power and the fact that he's polished enough to land the shots and place the shots if Tyson Fury is walking forward, I see Tyson Fury outboxing Anthony Joshua. Now, he might outbox Anthony Joshua, but listen to this. Here's an interesting caveat here. Now, he might outbox Anthony Joshua, but we got to call a spade a spade. If he outboxes Anthony Joshua, let's say it's like let's say he wins a fight 8-4. Let's say he wins a fight clearly 8-4. A competitive fight that Tyson Fury wins clearly, but he wins 8 rounds on most people's scorecards. But there's somewhere along the line there's 2 swing rounds. That's all they need. It's 1 or 2 swing rounds in an 8-4 kind of a fight. If that's the case, I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it in advance before this fight ever even gets made. Okay, they will rob Tyson Fury. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They will rob Tyson Fury because of the fact, and this is only my opinion. So if you disagree with me, you can do that in the comments. But this is only my opinion, and this is why I'm saying that. Okay, Anthony Joshua, for better or for worse, is British boxing. He is British boxing. He has the British boxing establishment behind him. And if the fight is in the UK, you can rest assured, if a fight of that magnitude, with that much money involved, if it's close, like 8-4, and there's even just 1 swing round, Anthony Joshua is getting a draw or maybe even a decision. And listen, I like Anthony Joshua, but I call a spade a spade. Do you guys remember when he fought Joseph Parker? And Joseph Parker was trying to find the inside, and he was trying to work on the inside, and the referee would not allow Joseph Parker to work on the inside. A lot of people think that Eddie Hearn paid off the referees. And, you never know. I don't put it past any promoter in boxing to pay off anyone. So, I could definitely see corruption in that fight because I was pissed. That fight pissed me off. That was one of the worst performances of AJ's career. It was one of the worst, most boringest fights of AJ's career. And that was a fight that I was talking about for years here on YouTube before it happened. And then when it finally happened and Parker's beginning to have success on the inside, they don't let him, they don't allow him to execute his game plan, which really pissed me off. And so, I don't know, man. That fight, like, I think in a perfect world, it would be in the UK. It should be in the UK because they're 2 British fighters. They're the 2 best British heavyweights of all time besides Lennox Lewis. There's no doubt about it. So it should happen in the UK. But then my thing is, like, I don't want it to be in the UK because I just know if it's a close fight, if it's anything close to a close fight, Anthony Joshua is getting every benefit of the doubt, and you can take it to the bank. That's just my 2 cents. But it could happen in Las Vegas. I think if it happened here in America, I'm sure there's a lot of Brits that would love to come to the MGM Grand, and it could be one of the greatest events of all time if it was in America. So there's many ways that could play out, but my prediction for the fight, if it does happen, is for Tyson Fury to outbox Anthony Joshua and become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I just don't see Anthony Joshua with the stamina, dexterity in his punches, or the variation of jabs to be able to outbox or hurt Tyson Fury in the fight. So, we'll see, man. I want to see that fight really badly. I want to see if Tyson Fury could fold up Anthony Joshua like people are saying, because, listen, I think right now, I know right now I was making this video, the Glovegate thing is very popular, but you guys might watch this video months and months from now when the Glovegate thing subsides and people have moved on with their lives. And I want to make it a point to close this video to say that I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart and from the core of my heart that right now with Tyson Fury, we're watching one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. I'm talking about a guy that when his career is officially finished and done, we're looking at a guy that will go down as the top 5 heavyweight of all time. Up there with the likes of the great Muhammad Ali and the guys like Joe Frazier and Foreman and Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis. Like, I think he's gonna be part of Evander Holyfield. I think he's gonna be up there when it's all said and done. And y'all can say, BT, you're just hyping this guy up. You're living in the moment, but no. I know what I'm watching. I know exactly what I'm watching. I got 4 eyes and they all work pretty good, and I know exactly what I'm watching. And we can live 100. We can live another 100. We can live another 100 years on this earth. I can live another 100 years, and you can live another 100 years, and we will not see another fighter like Tyson Fury. So that's the gravity and the magnitude of what we're watching right now. And I'm trying to let you guys know, so that as it's happening, you can enjoy it in its proper context. when it's happening, and when he retires, you don't say, well, like, oh, yeah, man, I can't believe how great Tyson Fury was. I wish I would have appreciated him more. Don't appreciate him when he's gone. Appreciate him right now, because this guy is something to behold. But we want to see this fight. You know, the coronavirus has called a lot of sporting events here in America into question. So maybe, just maybe, the coronavirus might have been the greatest thing to happen for British boxing, because maybe the Wilder Fury third fight doesn't happen right away, and they find a way to make Joshua versus Fury for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And I want to see it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you agree to anything I said in the comments, let me know what you agree with. If you disagree, definitely let me know that, because I know you guys. I know there's always somebody that has to disagree with me, but there's no problem with disagreeing. That's the fun of all this. We all have different opinions. We all have different perspectives, and that's why I enjoy talking to you guys. So, yeah, leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.